Welcome to High School OT Live. Here's your host, Nick Stevens.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the High School OT Postgame Show. I'm Nick Stevens along with TJ Thorpe. The 2A state championship game is now over. East Duplin gets the win 24-21 over Reidsville. It's the first state championship in school history for East Duplin, and there was some excitement at the end of that game, TJ.
No, for sure. And it's funny that you have your first state championship, right, against the one school in the state that has probably the most state championships, right? Yeah. So I guess you got to go through a Goliath at that point, if you're going to, reach the mountaintop. So kudos to them. But this game, I think, was a lot closer and a lot more exciting than I anticipated coming into it. So
I think a lot of people expected Reidsville to win. East Duplin got it.
East Duplin, I'm sorry. I kind of did think, Reidsville would win. But as the game went on, you could see just body language at times that let you know East Duplin. They were on a different mission, as the coach alluded to there in the postgame.
Well, let's show everybody how this happened. We'll bring in the highlights, and we'll start with East Duplin's opening drive. Avery Gaby, he made the scouting report for Reidsville. Big run to the left side and a touchdown-saving tackle made inside the 5-yard line. That leads to, you guessed it, Avery Gaby, touchdown. East Duplin with an early 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Same score late second quarter now. East Duplin driving again. Isaiah Hall with the carry inside the 10. But the ball is hit and stripped away by Jaden McCain. That gives Reidsville the ball with just over 2 minutes left before halftime. Decent return there out near the 20-yard line for McCain. Ali trying to take advantage. He completes this pass to the 6'8", 230 freshman Condre Harrison for a first down. And the ball is now across the 50-yard line. Last play of the half, Reidsville at the 2-yard line. Lee rolling out, finds Deontay Neal for the touchdown. We're tied at 7-7 at the half. Second half, Reidsville looking for its first lead, and they're going to try and get it on a 27-yard field goal attempt, but it is blocked by East Duplin. Elon Moore scoops this up and takes it all the way back to the house. East Duplin up 14-7, and you love special teams, TJ.
They changed the game, man.
That one definitely did. We saw a couple big special teams plays.
I think we've had big special teams plays in each one of the games so far.
We have, including this one. And things just not going well for the Rams in the third quarter. Lee passing. It is tipped and finds the hands of Brecken Bowles. That gives the Panthers great field position just outside the Reidsville 20-yard line. East Duplin has to settle for a 26-yard field goal from Darwin Vanilla, and that was enough to make it a two-possession game at 17-7, 2:54 left in the third. Reidsville ball, just over 7 minutes left now. Lee looking downfield and finds Jaden McCain for a 40-yard touchdown. The extra point is good, and the Rams are back within a score, down 17-14. Just over 2 minutes left. East Duplin, 4th and goal from the 5. Zach Brown to Cade Kennedy for the touchdown. Now that would seem to give East Duplin a comfortable 24-14 lead, but not so fast. Ensuing kickoff, East Duplin kicking to Reidsville. It's fielded by Deontay Neal at the 17-yard line, and he's got room. Good blocking by his teammates, and he's going 83 yards for the touchdown. It's now 24-21.
What a great way to respond, right? And I love the word ensuing, right? So,
attempted onside kick is next. Looks like Reidsville's got it, but they touched the ball early.
My heart. No. I mean, just look at that right there.
You can see that we've got a still frame here.
Oh, do we? Oh, that's awesome. Because right here on this still frame, you can see, one, that he's early, but two, that if you just go get that block, forget the ball, go make contact with the guy, let your opposite guy, the end man on the line of scrimmage, retrieve that ball.
And that will do it. East Duplin holds on. They win the 2A state championship, the first in school history. 24-21 is the final score in Chapel Hill. 24-21, East Duplin.
Something about onside kicks in Chapel Hill that just never go the kicking team's way.
Hey, we said it looked like UNC and Georgia Tech. The UNC colored team won this time. So
they did, as they should.
Did not
and
happen
they should have
previously.
done that during the season, but that's neither here nor there.
All right, let's bring in Joel Bryant and Kyle Morton. They are there at Keenan Stadium today for us. They've been covering this game. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. We actually have East Duplin walking behind us right now.
Oh, fun. Well, break down this one for us. Tell us what you saw live and in person there at Keenan Stadium.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Tell us what you saw live and in person there at Keenan Stadium.
It was very similar to the game last night. East Duplin really just came in here with the intent to just manhandle them on the offensive line, and they did. They didn't run any fancy option stuff like New Bern. They do some misdirection stuff, but it really was about that offensive line just basically controlling the whole game.
Yeah. They did a really good job mixing up the run looks, a lot of inside, outside, different concepts, a couple like double handoff misdirects. that kind of kept the Reidsville defensive line guessing, just kept them honest because they don't have the passing game to do that. They can load the box knowing that they're going to be able to get a run. So they had to do something to kind of keep them off whatever it was that was going to be their main tendency today. They did a good job of doing that. And like Joel said, very similar to last night, where New Bern kind of controlled the game, but Grimsley made a couple plays to hang around. Today, Reidsville made a couple plays to hang around with the block punt and then the kick return touchdown by Deontay Neal. So this game definitely rhymed with last night's game in terms of the flow of it.
I think the experience difference between the teams is definitely apparent. On the blocked field goal, Reidsville didn't realize it was a live ball. East Duplin did. Elam picks it up and takes it all the way back for the touchdown. There's a lot of instances of that where I thought the experience definitely played a factor. This East Duplin team is full of seniors. That Reidsville team, every single leader in any category is either junior or younger there. So I think that played a difference here. But it was a really good game, just like last night. Yeah.
TJ?
Well, I wanted to ask you guys, because you're on the field and you see East Duplin's quarterback / safety / tight end / fullback / everything pretty much, right? It's so interesting. I'm telling Nick here in the studio how he reminds me of a Taysom Hill type of ball player. I wanted to hear from y'all's take on the field, kind of what he brings to the team, because I see him leading. I see him doing so many different things for that team offensively and defense. But just from personal experience, on-field experience, tell us about what he means to that East Duplin team.
Well, I think Avery Gaby is definitely their vocal leader. That was apparent in the press conference. He does a lot of stuff on offense. We saw a lot of instances tonight where he was taking just direct snaps, like you said, kind of like a Taysom Hill role, basically running the Wildcat. And that allowed East Duplin to have an extra blocker in, and that gave him a really good chance with the blocking scheme. But he's a really strong runner. He's got good balance, I think, and he kind of he knows his way through traffic, I think, as well. So really balanced, really strong. He has over 40 touchdowns this season. Yeah. So he was one of the state leaders in touchdowns, Avery Gaby, and I think you hit it on the head, TJ. He does a little bit of everything for them, and he's also their leader on the sideline as well.
All right, Kyle Morton, Joel Bryant, they got to get over to Raleigh for the 1A and 3A state championships. Drive safely. We'll see y'all
the
later
scenery's
tonight.
Not as good over there, so just bring your shades.
All right, guys, have a good trip over. All right, TJ, we have heard from both head coaches already in the post-game press conferences. You can see those on High School OT right now. I do want to bring in one quick clip, though, from Reidsville head coach Jimmy Teague.
Congratulate East Duplin on a heck of a game that they fought like heck. But, again, I thought our guys fought like crazy, too. Obviously the block field goal in the second half, very heavy play on their part. Play that probably turned the momentum of the game around. And then, after that, we had an interception, which, again, gave them momentum. But I thought our guys fought like that, keep them out of the end zone, only give them the field goal. But, again, we want to congratulate these people on a great win. These seniors have done such a great It's bittersweet. It's not how they wanted it, not how I wanted it to end it for them. And such a great bunch of guys. I couldn't ask a better group of guys to coach, and I'm just so proud to be able to have to coach these guys.
This is the first time since 2015 that Reidsville has lost more than one game in a season.
Wow.
Now, this was a tough way to lose, obviously, but what does it say as a football player? What does it say about the team having a chance to get back in it? I mean, they returned the kickoff for a touchdown, about 2 minutes left, down by 13 points at that time, right? 14
Something
points.
like that.
I can't even remember what the score was now. 10 points. 2 scores.
I want to say it might have even been closer than that.
It was 10 points.
Right.
It was 2 scores, 10 points. So they returned the kickoff for a touchdown, get within 3, 24-21. I mean, they were literally inches away from recovering that onside kick.
Right.
What can Reidsville take away from this, knowing, they've got talent coming back? We talked about the 6'8" freshman.
Right. Well, I mean, when you look at it, Kyle said it, everybody on their roster, for the most part, in a leadership role, it seems like, is a junior down. So obviously looking to next season, a lot of bright spots. I'd imagine they're probably the favorite coming back to the state championship game. But just throughout the game, it shows, one, they're a well-coached bunch. I mean, you had a few miscues that were uncharacteristic, but for the most part, they're a well-coached bunch and they're resilient. I think that's the biggest thing that you want to see with any team nowadays. You want to see these kids keep fighting.
Yeah.
You want to see the game come all the way down to the end. You want to see things like that. And that's not, I mean, it's a penalty, but that's just effort. You know, we can talk through that on film because we're sitting here watching it, but going a mile a minute, you can't really tell if it's a yard, a half a yard, or whatever. So I think right there, you know, obviously you wish you have that because with the momentum, who knows? But you have a blocked field goal where the as you heard, the tenure, the guys being older for East Duplin understand, oh, keep playing, the whistle hasn't went. But everybody else thinks it's a dead ball, right? And
you could see that in the highlights where everybody just stopped playing.
They're walking
except
off the
like
field.
3 guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The game comes down to 3 points. Well, there's 7 of them right there, or 6 of them. And then from there, you have another where you block a field goal, you know, and lo and behold, or I'm sorry, a punt, you block a punt and then the punter catches it. Like, it's like all of those different things. It's just the ball didn't bounce their way. But I do think that the future is very bright for Reidsville.
All right, let's hear from head coach Battle Holly of East Duplin.
We're very proud of our football team. You know, we fought to the end just like we have all year, and especially the playoff run. We've got a good group of seniors that led our team and to this point, and we get to do something that had never been done before, and that was win a state championship.
So again, first state championship in school history for East Duplin, and coach is right. I mean, they have battled to the end in a lot of the games. We've seen them a couple times. We saw them on High School T Live against Wallace Rose Hill. They had to battle till the very end of that one. Had to do it again in the playoffs against the same rival. This is an impressive group of players that they've got down at East Duplin.
Yeah, no, and to their credit, I mean, there's nobody that truly jumps off the page as the most athletic guy in the area, right? But they all know exactly what they're supposed to do. They play to their strengths. They play hard. They play as a team. And right there, what Coach said, they understand what it means to win close ball games. So it's not anything new to them. They've played competition just as good, if not better than Reidsville throughout the season, and found ways to win the close ball games. And right then and there, you see it, minus a kick return and maybe – well, that was really all the bleeding outside of the defense and offensive. I mean, you had a few little miscues, but for the most part, they played clean all game in all 3 phases.
And your boy Taysom Hill.
And my boy Taysom Hill. I mean, it's refreshing. I told Nick, I was like, well, I don't know how it feels to be a quarterback, pitch the ball, and then go get a block. Like, I feel you go all week in a different colored jersey to not touch people, and then come out here and you're leading the way. And that just shows, again, guys who know what they're asked to do, they know what needs to be done to win, and they're willing to do it. And I think when you have a group of guys who feed off each other like that, who are willing to put their bodies on the line, that's how you win championships.
Avery Gaby almost 200 yards rushing today for East Duplin. A great game for Gaby. And again, final score, East Duplin 24-21, the first time they've won the state championship in school history. They beat Reidsville, who owns the record for most state champions in North Carolina. So the football capital of North Carolina, although the next team coming up would like to have something to say about that.
I think so.
The Tarboro Vikings playing for the 1A state championship. They will face Mount Airy in about 15 minutes. Kickoff is going to happen 3 o'clock at Carter Finley Stadium. We will have full coverage of that game as well on highschoolot.com and the High School OT app, and the 3A state championship game coming up tonight at 7 o'clock between East Lincoln and Northern Nash, also at Carter Finley Stadium here in Raleigh. TJ and I will be back after each of those games with another edition of the High School OT Postgame Show, and you'll be able to catch the postgame press conferences live on High School OT as well. We have a crew headed to East Duplin right now. We will have live pictures as East Duplin returns home as the state champions. We had Newbern last night on High School OT at about 2 a.m.
Another party.
Yeah, that was a party. The whole community, they were
they should
police and fire escort. It was crazy.
Well, that wasn't for them. That was for the Bears, just in case.
Just in case the actual
they wanted to come and party. You know, the Bears think Bears.
Worried about the Bears.
The gummy bears. Let me think. What other bears they got?
Bears?
Build-A-Bears.
Build-A-Bear? Yeah. Dropping my script here, TJ. All right, we got more work to do here at High School OT today. 2 more games. Again, the 1A game between Tarboro and Mount Airy coming up next, 3 o'clock at Carter Finley Stadium. Thanks for watching the High School OT post-game show. For TJ Thorpe, I'm Nick Stevens. Enjoy the rest of the games today.
See y'all later.